You are welcome here. You are welcome here. So open your heart and listen. So open your heart and listen. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. So open your heart and listen. So open your heart and listen. You are welcome here. You are welcome here. You are
welcome here. Good morning, Dina.
Good morning.
Hey. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. You are welcome here. And it is Reverend Pat Betsy, and I am the lead minister at Unity Center for Spiritual Growth. And it is my joy to welcome you here this morning. And I'm seeing so many of our friends in the chat box: Lisa, Brenda, Vince, Mimo, oh my goodness, Dee, Cindy, Michelle, Dawn. Thank you all for being here and for letting me know that you're here by putting something in the chat box. And also like us, because that sends us out. Share us so others get the opportunity to enjoy what you're enjoying here this morning. I want to just share a few things before we begin. And one is that our prayer partner, Jack Cole, is holding space for us this morning. Every Sunday morning, a prayer partner will be in prayer during our service. And this is one of the ways that they can serve our ministry. And we are very grateful for that. Also today, I have Carolyn Sanford, our board treasurer. She will be doing the daily word with us today, and we're very happy to have her as well. And so we have a wonderful service in store for you today, and I'm very glad that you're with us. And if you are new to us, if this is your first time joining us, I would love it if you would put your name in the chat box and tell us where you're from. And then if after the service you'd be willing to send me an email and give me some information on you, I'd love that too. My email address is revpatbessy@gmail.com. Real easy. But we would love to know that you're here with us, and we'd love to welcome you. It's a little different doing this in this way rather than being in person and really actually having that eye-to-eye contact. But we are very grateful if you are joining us. And so we'd like to begin our service. I'm going to say hi first to Ryan and Eric and Danielle and Ashley, Allie, Pat Payne, Anita. Oh, so many of you are here with us this morning. I can see your lovely faces. So I'm going to bring Dina back and let us begin our service.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place.
And surely the Lord is in this place. So I would invite you to join me in prayer. Divine love, we give thanks for this time to come together, this time to celebrate life in the way that we need to at this time, remembering that we are all experiencing this time in a very different way. It is Memorial Day weekend, so let us remember all those who have served, those that have given their life, and those who have been our rock in times of need. We give thanks for each and every person that has served our country in one way or another. And so as we take this time together, gratitude is always on our heart. Grateful for the beautiful day that we're experiencing here in Maine. Grateful for the connections that we can make through technology. Grateful for the people that are in our lives, those that are closest to us and those who hold the high watch for us, just as Jack is holding the high watch for us this morning. We just give thanks for each and every one of you. And we know that each and every one of you is the love in the world. So let that love out. Let it just go wherever it's being called for, because there is not anywhere right now where love is not needed. So for that and so much more, we just give thanks for this service. We give thanks for all of the ways that we are blessed. And so it is. Amen. Amen. I want to take a moment also to just thank many of you. On Friday evening, I reached out to many of you invoking prayer. We had a little bit of an upset here in our household Friday night. By late afternoon and early evening, I could tell that something was not right with Rev Leroy. And I took his temperature, and he had a temperature of 102.4. Well, you can just imagine where my head went. Just like all of you, I moved right into a place of fear. I reached out to our PCP, and she said immediately get him to the emergency room. So I called 911, and they took him up to Bridgeton. And I've never been so grateful in all my life for someone having a urinary tract infection, because that is exactly what it was. And we are so grateful. By midnight or 12:30, I was able to go pick him up. And again, not realizing and forgetting in that moment of scared and fear, I was ready to follow the ambulance up the road. And one of the EMTs said to me, "You can't go. They're not going to let you in." And it was like, oh my gosh. So I reached out to several of you. You responded back, and I am so grateful because it just one more time shows how prayer works. So thank you all for that. And so now I'm going to invite us to say together our invocation. And I know that Dina's got it up here, so we will zoom in on that. For many of you, you know it already, but let us say together, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God, the good omnipotent. One presence, one power operating in our life. And our vision statement is, centered in divine love, we celebrate a spiritually transformed world. And my friends, if we aren't experiencing that right now, we are seeing our world transforming right before our eyes. And let us make sure that we continue on the road that we're on with kindness and love and respect and treating one another as equals. And our mission statement is, Unity Center for Spiritual Growth reaches in to reach out through education, service, and creation of community. Everything begins with prayer. And then we take that prayer and we put it into action in our lives. And then we have core values that we live by, and they are, we are loving, we are accepting, we are authentic, we are transformative, we are soul-centric, we are compassionate, and we are welcoming. And that is the truth about us. And so now I'm going to bring Dina back on as we do a congregational song together.
All right, let me switch out my lyrics here and get them out of range of my face. We're going to do a new and African song today. But as always with the African songs that I choose, the words are few and easy. I'll try to get this a little closer. Oh yeah. There we go. Right in there. So this is in Zulu. And this is Atula Klizio. There, now if I sit back, will you still be able to see me? Yeah. I got a note last week that you see these little boxes with my name and whatnot. So I'm trying to, though you probably don't see the live box that I have outside on the top. So I'm trying to keep things in your field of vision. All right, so this is Tula Klizio. And the translation I put right on the lyrics here, the translation is, be still, my heart. Even here, I am at home. And so the text is, Tula Klizio Nala Pase Kaya. Hey Kaya, Nala Pase Kaya. All right, so it's got like 6 words. Tula Klizio Nala Pase Kaya. Hey Kaya, Nala Pase Kaya. And just like it looks like in the lyrics, there's a line and it repeats. Music is the same. You hear the line and it's exactly the same. And then the second little section there, you hear the line and it's exactly the same line the second time. All right, so we can do this. I'm going to sing it for you, not in that key though, in this key, like this. Tula Klizio Nala Pase Kaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pase Kaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pase Kaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pase Kaya. I'm going to try to clap away from the computer. I don't want it to be too loud. I'll do it again. Tula Klizio Nala Pase Kaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pase Kaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pase Kaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pase Kaya. Hey, now you can do it with me. I'm going to stick with the clapping for a bit. We'll do it a few times. A cappella with just the clapping, and then I'll bring the piano and we'll do it a few times like that. Here we go. Tula Klizio Nala Pase Kaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Tula Klizio Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya. Hey Kaya Nala Pasakaya.
Little did you know that you would get a lesson in African language this morning. Thank you, Dina. And now let me share with you our 5 basic principles. Unity has 5 basic principles that we build our whole teaching upon. And the first one is the same as our invocation or our invitation of knowing that there is only one presence and one power, and that is God active in our life. And the second one is that everybody is inherently good. Everybody is born an original blessing. And everybody is whole and complete. The third one is that our thoughts are creative. As we think and hold and imbue our thoughts with feelings is what we're going to see. So being so mindful of the thoughts that we're holding, making sure that they are the things that we want to see in our life. The fourth one is all of this is underpinned with prayer and meditation. Prayer and meditation is the foundation of unity, silent unity, 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, prayer vigil. Also, I want to just say, when I'm talking about silent unity, if you have not downloaded their app called the letter U, Pray, I invite you to do so and put it on your phone. I immediately sent them a prayer request on Friday night. And then the last one, of course, is putting them into action. And that was exactly what I did. I put it into action, the prayer and meditation, reaching out to many of you, and then calling in silent unity. So these are our 5 basic principles, and these are how we operate in our life. It doesn't mean that we're not going to have challenges, but what it does mean is we have the tools to move through those challenges. So I'm going to also share with you at this time, our meditation will follow our message today. It will not follow the daily word as it normally does. And so at this time, I am going to bring on Carolyn Sanford, who is our board treasurer, and she will be sharing the daily word with you this morning. Hello, Carolyn.
Hello.
Welcome to us. And you're coming to us from your home in Freeport?
Yes.
All right. It's all yours, girlfriend.
All right. Thank you. So wonderful to be here. I wish I could see all of you. Today's word is faith. I invest my faith only in possibilities for good. And it's Sunday, May 24. The parable of the talents in the Gospel of Matthew tells the story of a wealthy man entrusting sums of money to 3 of his servants before leaving on a journey. When the man returns, he praises and rewards the 2 servants who, through wise investments, have doubled the funds entrusted to them. A 3rd servant, who, acting in fear, hid the money entrusted to him, receives no reward. The divine faculty of faith that is part of my spiritual inheritance is more valuable than money. I invest my faith wisely by believing and trusting that possibilities for good are present, even where good has not yet manifested, and I act on that belief. My positively directed faith brings rich rewards in consciousness. Again, today's daily word is faith. I invest my faith only in possibilities for good.
Thank you, Carolyn. And you'll see Carolyn again a little later in the service. So thank you for the daily word. And now I'm going to bring Dina on as she opens us with music.
So to open up Pat's talk this morning, this is a song that is mostly in Spanish. This is based on a text, a famous quote by Saint Teresa of Avila. And the translation of the quote is, "Let nothing disturb you. Let nothing frighten you. All things pass away. God never changes. Patience obtains all things. He who has God finds he lacks nothing. God alone suffices."
Nada deturbe, nada despande, todo se pasa, Dios no se muda. La paciencia todo la alcanza, quien a Dios tiene, nada le falta, nada le turbe, nada le expande, solo Dios basta. May nothing frighten, may nothing trouble. Those who seek God shall never go wanting. May nothing trouble, may nothing frighten. God alone fills us. Nada te turbe, nada te espante, todo se pasa, Dios no se muda. La paciencia todo la alcanza, quien a Dios tiene, nada le falta, nada te turbe, nada te espante, solo Dios basta. May nothing trouble, may nothing frighten. Those who seek God shall never go wanting. May nothing trouble, may nothing frighten. God alone fills us. God alone suffices. Solo Dios basta.
Thank you, Dina. I just see Ryan is saying goosebumps, and I agree. what I just want to say too is I'm realizing, because people are seeing you on the screen, when we're in person, many people can't see you when you're singing, and just the joy on your face, you just know that you are in your right profession, because it just emanates from you. So thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Wow. I don't know. I'm just feeling overwhelmed with joy this morning, and reading your comments. You're just filling me up. And I realize we have people on with us this morning from Florida, from North Carolina, from Virginia, from Massachusetts. We're going all the way down the East Coast, and that feels really, really good to be able to have you all joining us, which is what this what we're experiencing has opened up for us, is a greater and a wider range of where people can get our message. And for that, I am grateful. I want to just take a moment too. Many of you probably saw where there was a call for churches to reopen. And I want you to know that our leadership is constantly watching and taking in all the information. And at this time, we still do not feel comfortable opening up. So we will be monitoring that and looking at, Allie is in New Hampshire. All right, great. So we will be continuously watching and monitoring and making our decision based on what is for the highest and best for the community. Our community, as you well know, has a lot of folks in it that are in the high risk category. And we do not want to do anything to put anybody in harm's way. So even though you're hearing the buzz out there that churches are opening, please know that we're on it. And actually, I was in touch with other churches in the Windham area this week, and none of them are ready to open. So with that being said, I'm going to move us on, and I'm working with a new book. The series of talks that I'm giving is from this book, and it's called What's in the Way is the Way. What's in the Way is the Way by Mary O'Malley. And I'm loving it, and I hope you do too. So a few summers ago, a couple bought a new boat, and they were having problems. No matter how hard they tried, they couldn't get their brand new 22-foot boat going. It was very sluggish in almost every maneuver, no matter how much power was applied. After about an hour of trying to make it go, they putted into a marina, thinking someone there may be able to tell them what was wrong. A thorough topside check revealed everything was in perfect working condition. The engine ran fine, the outdrive went up and down, and the propeller was the correct size and pitch. So it was just stunning to try to figure out what was going wrong here. So one of the marina guys jumped into the water to check underneath. He came up choking on water as he was laughing so hard. Under the boat, still strapped securely in place, was the trailer. I'll let that one sink in. So just as this couple with the boat did not know they were dragging their trailer, sometimes we have difficulty getting anywhere because we are unknowingly dragging things that weigh us down as well. Last week, I talked about the stories of struggle that become clouds in our mind that cut us off from seeing the meadow of our own innate okayness and from life. And so this week, we're talking about the meadow. I talked about the storyteller within us that spins tales of struggle. And to discover the power of our compassionate curiosity to quiet that storyteller. We also explored how reactive thinking can cloud our direct experience of life, making it very difficult to accomplish what we want. So in this week's series, What is in the Way is the Way, we are learning to use our minds to work for us rather than against us. And this is so in line with Unity teachings. We are beginning to wake up to the fact that our mind is an exquisite tool, but that it cannot be in charge of our lives. As we watch our mind's reactivity to life, we can see why. I can tell you, just in watching how my mind worked the other night and the place that I went to immediately when I have all these tools on board. So I can't let my mind be in charge. And so last week we looked at some ways to unhook from reactivity and connect with a spaciousness and openness that is the meadow of well-being within us. That meadow of well-being that is within us. Last week I gave you a couple of tools, and tool number 1 is going into your heart. Your heart is an energy center that fills your whole being with its wisdom energy. So go to your heart. Your heart knows. And then the second tool is curiosity. Compassionate curiosity allows you to watch your thoughts rather than get caught up in them. So you have a choice to unhook from them by turning your attention to what is actually happening and not your idea about it. And not your idea about it. Again, what was actually happening is that Leroy had a temperature. Where I went was, oh no, this is COVID. That wasn't what was happening. All that was happening was a temperature. And when I could move past that and move into the wisdom of my heart, then I was able to know what I needed to do next. So this week, we are exploring the qualities of the meadow of well-being, which is our natural home. The meadow of well-being, which is our natural home. The place our soul longs for, the experience we seek yet often miss because we have withdrawn from a direct experience of life. And this is a key piece right here, friends. Instead of experiencing life, we think about life. And this is where I often call you back, stay in the present moment. Stay in the present moment. That's where life is. Life is not in the past, and life is not in the future. It is in the present moment. A Zen teacher once said, no matter how many times you say the word water, it will never be wet. Think about that. No matter how many times you say water, it will never be wet. The only way is for you to experience water is to step into it. Mary O'Malley says, you stay caught in your mind, afraid of becoming fully who you are because you're not quite sure what that would look like. So instead, we live in the clouds created by our minds. We stay caught up in our minds because we're afraid of being fully who we are. You may understand this if you're not happy with something in your life and you daydream about a life you think you want, only to realize you missed much of what you had. And I can remember this so clearly. I can remember having a conversation with Edwene Gaines back in the mid-90s. And I was in a job that I didn't want to be in. And I wanted to be somewhere else. And and what she said to me, Pat, become fully present and happy where you are. You cannot leave until you do that. And she was so right. She was so right, because I was always projecting into something else and never being present to what was there. Never finding the things that the kernels that were right there for me that I could embrace. So, what does our home of well-being look like? It has 5 core qualities. And we're going to talk about each of those core qualities today. They are flow, spaciousness, light, love, and stillness. So let's start with flow. Flow is a part of life, of nature, all of nature, from rivers and streams outside to rivers of blood, breath, sensation, thoughts, energy within us. Everything in the meadow is about flow. There is flow and there is ebb. There is expansion and there is contraction. We need these polarities to live. Our hearts, our lungs expand and contract to pump our bread and our breath. We tend to love the expansion but hate the contraction of life. When things get bigger, we say, more, I want more of this. And when they get smaller, we say, more. This isn't what I want more, I want something else, instead of enjoying it all. There is an intelligence in the flow of life. Myrtle Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, spoke to the intelligence in her body, and it was healed. She spoke to every part of her body daily, praising it, thanking it for what it was doing, thanking it for the life flow that was going on. Mary O'Malley says the only thing in all creation that doesn't flow are the clouds of struggle in our minds. The clouds of struggle in our minds are not flowing. They're stagnant and they're hanging low on us. The mind believes we are separate from the flow of life and believes that its job is to control everything. We call that ego sometimes. That ego wants to keep us playing small. It wants us to be little and not try new things. So we see ourselves as separate from the flow of life and judge things as good or bad, right or wrong, liking or disliking. And from this perspective, life is seen as a threat, and we withdraw into the clouds of thinking. So just for a moment, imagine relaxing into the flow of life. Take a moment right now and just let your shoulders loosen up. Move your head around. Let the flow of life in you have no constrictions. When we remember that life is intelligent, we can trust it and let go and allow it to carry us without struggle. If you're a swimmer, you know that when you relax, the water lifts you up. But when you resist and fight the water and tighten up, you tend to sink and even drown. We can allow life to pass through the spaciousness of who we are and find joy in the flow we find within ourselves. We can trust that the flow of the current will take us around the boulders or heal us if we become bruised. So to enter the flow of life, we must be open to the moment, feeling everything fully without resistance or attachment, just letting life unfold for us. Joy comes with our ability to be fully engaged with the flow of life, exactly as it is appearing, no matter what that is, and allowing life to pass through you rather than always trying to make it be a certain way. The moment that it's just like if you think about a hose, when we let the hose do what the hose does, the water flows through it very easily. But the minute that we crunch it up, pick it up and hold it tight, it stops the flow. And that is the same thing, is when we are not allowing life to flow through us. Peace comes when we discover that we don't have to tighten around the difficult or hold on to the beautiful. We can let both of them just flow. And now the second point is spaciousness. Life loves space. The universe is spaciousness. Imagine this, that it is 24.8 trillion miles to the closest star. I can't even fathom that. And you are filled with spaciousness. The 1,000 trillion atoms that make up our being are filled mostly with space. If we blew up an atom to the size of a Major League Baseball field, the nucleus would be a grain of sand in the middle of the field, and the electrons would be dancing around the outside of the stadium. The rest is just space. When we get caught up in the clouds of our reactive thinking, we live in the tight and narrow space of our mind. Sometimes we feel compressed, imprisoned, with few options. Yet it is a prison of our own making. Right now, in what we're experiencing, we can look at being imprisoned or in this small space, but if we open up our minds to all the possibilities that can happen during this, that creates the spaciousness. When I travel, I like to open to the spaciousness of possibilities and allow the universe to guide me, and trust that of the many possibilities that exist, I will open to the ones that bless me the most. Having a sense of spaciousness is delicious. I love that. Having a sense of spaciousness is delicious. Could the tightness we feel in our bodies or our hearts have anything to do with the tightness of our thinking? Of course. Can we expand our consciousness to the spaciousness in the meadow of our reality and allow any reaction to simply pass through our space? Just watch it go. Don't grab onto it. And then the next one is light. Scientist David Bohm, grandfather of quantum physics, once said that matter is just frozen light. Light is thought to be a vital ingredient in all atoms, thus all has and is light. Have you noticed how some people glow? Oftentimes you hear when a woman becomes pregnant, she's glowing. Everything shines from within, radiating the energy of its presence. We may not see the light, but we may feel it. When we live in the clouds of our mind, we dim our radiance, for we are cut off from the radiance of our bodies and the joy of being alive. Plato says that tragedy of life is when men are afraid of the light. Jesus taught us to let our light shine, not to hide it under the bushel of clouds. And Carl Jung says that the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light in the darkness of mere being. Light is essential to our wellness. How we respond when our days get longer and we have more time in light. The next one is love. Mary has an interesting definition of love. She says it's the movement of light through us. As we experience the movement of energy through us, rather than trying to control it, we are experiencing love. Love permeates everything. Love makes the world go round. Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, defines love as the pure essence of being that binds together the whole human family. Of all the attributes of God, love is undoubtedly the most beautiful. In divine mind, love is the power that joins and binds in divine harmony the universe and everything in it, the great harmonizing principle known to man. We are love. We have been created by love, yet we are afraid of being love. Hafiz says, even after all this time, the sun never said to the earth, "You owe me." Look what happens with a love like that. It lights the whole sky. It lights the whole sky. That is the love that we are. And then the next principle is stillness. The dance of life, the dance of electrons, the movement of earth and stars arise out of a stillness that births all the varied forms of life. As we spend time in nature, in meditation and mindfulness, we can catch a glimpse of this underlying stillness. Eckhart Tolle says, your innermost sense of self, of who you are, is inseparable from stillness. Is inseparable from stillness. Yet stillness cannot be chased or searched. As we are willing to be curious about what is happening within ourselves, stillness reveals itself. Don't you just love that? Stillness is not empty, but full and rich with life, love, and intelligence. So our call to action this week is to let us drink in these 5 qualities: flow, spaciousness, light, love, stillness. Let us notice them as they arise in our life and in our consciousness this week. Let them lead us this week. Let us stay in the flow and open to the spaciousness all around us, and let the light in and let the light out. And of course, love. Love, you'll have so many opportunities to love this week. And then taking time in the stillness. And that's where we're going to go next. We're going to go into meditation. So I'm going to invite Dina to take us into meditation, bringing her up right now.
When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. I open my heart. When I'm quiet in prayer, I open my heart. Hallelujah. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love, see only love. When I'm quiet in prayer, I see only love. Hallelujah.
And so as you settle into your chair, wherever you might be, allowing yourself to be comfortable, I invite you to dip the finger of your attention into the river of your experience, noticing what it is like to be you right now. Noticing what it is like to be you right now. I invite you to take in 3 in-breaths and tighten your muscles as you breathe in, and then very slowly relax everything on your out-breath. As you say the great sound of letting go. Ah. Ah. Now bring your attention to the circle of your breath. Imagining there is a lit candle in front of you. Breathe in through your nostrils and then blow out the candle, enjoying a long, slow out breath. Now, when you're ready, let go of the candle image and breathe in and out through your nostrils. When you breathe in and out through your nose, you settle in and you get quieter. Rather than breathing out through your mouth, you regulate your breathing. Now say to yourself on the rhythm of your breath, in, out, deep, slow. In, out, deep, slow. When you notice that you are no longer paying attention to your breath, simply bring your attention back to it with no judgment. The heart beats, the lungs breathe, and the mind thinks. So for the next few moments, open your attention to include your whole body and notice what is different now that you have given yourself the gift of your own attention. And now let us bring ourselves back into this time and space, giving thanks for being in the moment, staying present to what is. And so it is. Amen. Oh, I hope that was a good experience for you. And it's a wonderful meditation. And because you can watch this anytime, you can pull that up and use it anytime you feel the need. And so I want to share with you a few things that are happening over the next week, as always, our Facebook Live events. I'm happy to say that Reverend Elizabeth will be back on doing her early morning meditation starting Monday. So join her at 6:30. And then, of course, we have our Midday Faith Lift Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays with whomever is doing it that day. I'm going to be incorporating Reverend Elizabeth will be back in it again, and so will Barbara Kowalska. So we'll have different ones on different days. And of course, we have our midweek meditation on Wednesday evenings with Rev Leroy, and Friday music with Dina. I don't know if Dina is here. Dina, there you are. You want to share with them what's going to happen for the virtual choir?
Sure. So Ryan Polly, who's a fairly new person in our community, has offered to do the technical work that it takes to make a virtual choir video. You know, those videos where you see the little pictures of everybody, and you know they all make their own recording, and then it's all compiled into one video. And so anyway, we're going to do that. And so the song is going to be Karen Drucker's "I'm So Grateful." And if you're interested in taking part in this, you need to email me. And my email address is myname@gmail. So it's DEANAGURNEY@gmail.com. Email me if you want to be part of it.
That's going to be fun. I was telling Dina that I've been talking to a lot of different church boards over the last few weeks. And the one thing that I hear over and over again from people that have sung in choirs is how much they miss that. And so when this was offered, I thought, what a wonderful way for them to get connected again. So I'm very excited about that. And Ryan, thank you so much. And he's just posted happy to do it. And I'm so glad. So thank you. So a few other things that are happening is, of course, coffee hour follows our time together here this morning. Come join us again. It's just a few minutes of just checking in. It's like what you would do if you were sitting and having coffee with somebody in Fellowship Hall, just finding out what's going on in people's lives. A Course in Miracles, Matt does it every noontime on Sunday, and he has a great following with that. And I think that is it for the time being. Always pay attention to what comes out in Heart Thought, because you never know what new thing is going to be on the horizon. So now at this time, I'm going to bring in Carolyn again as she shares with us our offering.
Hello again. As your treasurer, I just wanted to say thank you so much for your generosity, that you've supported this community through these difficult times, and by your contributions, we're able to do all of these Facebook Lives and YouTubes and meditations and prayers, and it's just a wonderful way to connect. And today, you can either use this PayPal link, or you could go to the website if you would like to express your gratitude and appreciation today. Because as we give, you all know we receive. And it's just such a gift to have this community during this time. So if you want to join me in our offering, saying divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God, for the joy of giving.
And Carolyn, thank you so much. And yes, we are so appreciative of everybody's generosity. We are blessed beyond measure. So with that being said, I'm going to bring Dina back on again and let us close with You Are the Face of God.
There we go.
the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God. You are the face of God. I hold you in my heart. You are a part of me. You are the face of God.
And thank you, everyone. And thank you, Jack Cole, for holding the space. This service went so smoothly, no technical difficulties. And I know that that's the power of prayer. And if you do have any prayer needs this week, please reach out. Reach out to me at patbessie@gmail.com. Christine put it in the chat box. And I'm very happy to pray with you or to have a prayer partner pray with you. So let us end today with our prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love. The power of God protects us. We are the power. And the presence of God watches over us. We are the presence. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well. Have a beautiful Memorial Day weekend. Stay safe. Do safe distancing. Wear your masks when you're outside. And have a love-filled weekend. God bless you. Bye now.